Hi, everyone.
Hmm.
Hi, Ken and Nana.
Hey,
Hi.
Helena.
Oh, this feels very, very sweet. Just to have an opportunity to go live together and share a little bit about the inspiration that you guys have had this week and you've been sharing with me this week about the promise to God and the movie gathering that you guys will be hosting tomorrow. And yeah, I was just sharing with Ken and Nana this morning. I was reading the lesson for today. Just to repeat the review lessons. And Ken and Anna have been sharing a lot with me this week. We had a few talks about the movie. You've been sharing a little bit about this in the last week or even longer, actually, and your inspiration for it. And I was reading this lesson this morning and I thought, oh, this could actually be like really perfect for the movie tomorrow. I don't know, but I just thought to read it and yeah, just have you both share a little bit about your inspiration for it and even the theme, like how that came about and yeah, what we're kind of inviting everybody into tomorrow, because I feel like it will be a very, very deep movie gathering. Everything you guys have been sharing with me, it's going to be a very deep forgiveness experience, I think. But I'll have you guys share more about that. But I can share all that. But yeah, this morning I was reading the lesson and the part where it says the review of I See Only the Past really struck me this morning, and I'll go a little bit further in, but it says, I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past and therefore no enemies. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. It's just touching me even when I read it right now. It's like, I don't know, it's really, really touching. So yeah, do you guys want to share a little bit about the movie, the theme, whatever comes to your mind? And yeah,
You want to start?
Yeah. It's actually a perfect summary of the movie because that's all. Forgiveness is all about letting go of the past, right? And this movie is such a beautiful demonstration. It's not even about the events that are happening in the movie, but I think it's so relatable, everything that is unfolding in the movie. And it's this idea that everything, actually, every relationship, every encounter, every thought that we have is really actually about our relationship with God. And
Mhm.
everything is just a reflection of that. And I think the whole movie seems to be like a personal life unfolding, but it's almost like depicts our path towards God or our relationship towards God. And like we were praying on the theme and we had different ideas, but then ultimately it's like a miracle movie. Like it shows you that there is no order of difficulty, and there is basically God and grace can handle anything, because what is beyond, what seems to be beyond grace is not real anyway. It's just an illusion, so it can handle anything, it can heal anything. That even what seems to be traumatic and really terrifying and really deeply hurting, anything can be healed. And we were praying about that, and it's almost like the movie is like I was remembering, like Jesus says in the course, like when God created, it was not like created the Christ or us who we really are. It was not like a passive creation. The Christ said full yes. Like God said, you will be perfect, you will be like me. And we said, I will. And that's how it all, like Jesus says, that's how the Christ was created, which was not a passive thing. So I think this movie shows us that, like the part that God does and part that we do, and then the whole
Mhm.
miracle and the healing and breakthrough and everything, the forgiveness happens. So I think, as you were saying, it's going to be such a deep journey into, like, even into emotions, into our beliefs about God or about life or whatever it is. Like it's going to be really, really deep, but it's like this movie is a promise that it's gonna be healed and it's gonna be released. So I think it's gonna be such a safe place, nurtured place to allow ourselves to feel whatever we feel, and then we will be sure that there is light, and that everything that will come up will be given over to this light and will be released, because the movie like ends in such a beautiful like forgiveness, and like it's in such a beautiful message that anything is possible with God.
Mm.
So yeah, there are so many themes that could be addressed, and it's actually so powerful. But I think for me, this is something like, yeah, we were talking about time lately, like, and then Ken was sharing like, yeah, forgiveness does not actually take time. Like readiness is now. It's not a time idea. But then this character takes time and time and time and time just because he doesn't want to accept that grace in that moment. And the lesson that was coming to us was, what was the lesson about grace? Your grace is given me, I will
Claim it now.
claim it now. And it's like that grace is right here, right now, and the character in character's life, and he seems to take time to come to the point when he fully accepts it. And I think that's the like the little glimpse in time and in just one instant of healing is like shows you shows you both things. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really beautiful, because even the perception, like the ego perception and Holy Spirit's perception, in ego's perception everything is wrong, God is against me, it's not working out, and then this shift happens, and character realizes, oh my God, God was actually here with me and he kept his promise. So it's such a shift to see that, like nothing actually informed changed, but his mind changes so completely that he is able to let go of what seems to be such a big deal in terms of the world, so like a trauma or whatever you want to call it. So that just gives us that glimpse that anything is possible, and don't never settle for like, okay, this was like such a difficult relationship, it's gonna take 30 years to heal it. No, healing is right now if we really surrender. So yeah, these are some of the things that come to my mind.
Yeah, because it's a seeming true story. So we're going to be going on a journey, and really it shows that we cannot judge anything. We cannot judge what's going to happen in the form, really. And as you said, it's all for the good, and it's all to wake us up. And so often we judge ourselves by the form. Oh, the form's not going so well, so then that must be something in my mind is going wrong with me. I'm not aligned with God or whatever. And the interesting thing about this movie is really he's really pushing everything away. He's not interested in that, and yet God is still there. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever, whatever happens. And so this really shows really clearly that we cannot judge anything. It looks like you could see, wow, this is very challenging for him. He goes through many trials, which are seem to be very difficult, and probably most people wouldn't want to go through. And you'd think, oh God, how am I supposed to face all this? Or even we call it trauma. And so, wow, this is going to take years of work to get through all of this trauma. No wonder he is how he is. But as you said, the grace of God actually was always there. And then it's remembering that we did make that promise, and God made that promise to us first of all. He created us. And so that is what is truly present. So it doesn't matter what your story is, yeah. And we talked about this the other day. You can seemingly be as good as you like in form, and you can be as bad as you like in form, and they're both literally the same thing. You're trying to be something that you are, that wasn't created as God was created. Yeah. So in this, it's like, okay, this is quite bad what's happened and how he responds to it all, but God is always there. So it shows so clearly that we can never ever judge by the form. And I think for ourselves, it's when something's going wrong, we continue to judge ourselves, and we always take it personally. oh, I must be doing something wrong here. Yeah, I've got to find this in my mind, and we're always doing this. If it's going good, oh, I'm being, yeah, everything's aligned. Yeah, and so that's still a judgment. Yeah, that's still like judging it by the form. But in this, it's going to be so fascinating to sort of watch how it unfolds, and yet that instant is available for true forgiveness, which actually encompasses absolutely everything. And as Jesus says, it's not your readiness, it's my readiness, and I am ready now. So, you can try and get yourself ready. Really, that's actually arrogant to think that you'll one day I'm going to be ready for God, and then guess what? God's going to come. And it's not, no, Jesus he says, I can reach down to you quicker than you can reach up to me. So I'm available now. And it's like that instant is available. And this is what happens for our character, that he recognizes that the promise is always met. And this is reminding me of all prayers are answered. It's just that you haven't heard it. So his prayer actually was answered. But then, and he made his promise as well, which is beautiful. He makes his promise. God made his promise, and now they're remembering. He's coming back to that single instant where, oh, the promise is met.
Yeah, and it's like the ego stands no chance at all. Like it's like awakening is inevitable, healing is inevitable, and during the movie you can feel like he has these flashes of memories, and he remembers this tiny moment of his promise to God, like tiny little moment, and the ego comes up quite strongly, and then again and again and again, but finally that memory just breaks through, and it's like you cannot forget about this. Finally, it's like this time seems to be this time when like we forgot that memory, but you cannot actually hold it back. God is always reaching us, reaching and reaching and reaching. So it's just a beautiful example of that. I think it's like you cannot hold it in the light that you are. So finally it will break through it, no matter how much you resist, and that resistance is just futile. I would say. So yeah, it's just a beautiful demonstration. And the past, like I think that made me think about my childhood, my seeming past. Now one day I was like, what if I remember my childhood in a different way? Like instead of remembering, oh, this was whatever, and it makes the past or this seemingly fixed thing so light and even transparent, and even something that can be transformed into light. So I think this movie gives us that opportunity, that no matter what it is you are holding on to and feels heavy or unhealed or fixed, it's nothing. It can be made, it can be like transparent, something that light can shine through and shine it away. So yeah, I guess this is the opportunity just to join in that light and that healing power, for power of our desire for God and God's desire for us to be one with Him, because that's a constant calling and we cannot really resist. And things that seemingly go wrong are not actually going wrong, as Ken was saying. It's actually part of the higher plan, because we have our small plans and then they don't really work out and we think that something is going wrong, but actually behind them there is a greater plan that is actually working and that is actually destined to work. So it gives you this, like you just zoom out and see the whole unfoldment of the healing and this divine plan behind everything. Yeah.
Reminds me of just kind of flashed through my mind. Waking Dreams, that movie. When you said like about the time, like the ego uses time to guard against God, and that's kind of what that's in that movie too. In Waking Life, it just really gets exposed. But what I hear, like this is kind of a similar, like it's always there. Like I think David even read yesterday or today from the simplicity of salvation, and the grace of God, like claim it now. And salvation is in your mind, it's among your thoughts, find it there. It's like we're constantly pointed to, it's right there. But yeah, that scene came to my mind, that this one character says, yeah, every time is just this constant no to God. No, thank you, not yet. No, thank you very much, not yet. And like pushing away the even the help that's offered like along the way, because I do feel we get a lot of help along the way, and symbols and people and circumstances that seem to actually wanting to,
Mm.
or like invite us into this, yes, you know, because we do believe in time and space, so somehow we've got to be reached in our mind. And so yeah, I don't know if that, I feel like maybe that's part of the movie too a little bit, if I hear you talk, like yeah,
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
kind of facing that even for ourselves, like
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for character's perspective, it's like, oh my God, I'm not loved. This is terrible. God is against you, or whatever.
Mhm.
All these ideas. But then, from when you look at it, it's like he has the right relationship, the right support, who everyone who encourages him to, okay, step up or just choose again, or choose healing, choose forgiveness. But somehow he himself is not really. He has to come to that point when the pain becomes too much. And we
yeah.
were remembering lately when David shared on one of the, I think it was about the documentary Molly, when we watched, and he said that actually, if you start from intensity, that's the best way to start, because you know that you know how horrible it is, and then it's like from there it goes up and up and up. And I
Mhm.
think this character has to reach that moment when it's like, oh my God, I really need help, and I'm willing to turn to God for that, and then he's instantly convinced that that is it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
It's beautiful. I don't know, even when you guys shared this is like the promise to God is Christ said yes in creation. Like something feels so touching when you said that. It's like, oh, that is the promise to God. It's to be who I am. I think that's why that line, I posted it this morning on Facebook too, because it's just like I'm so touched by it. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see.
Mm.
Like it's like when I remember who I am,
Mm.
there's nothing outside of me that can't be blessed in that experience. And
Mm.
it's very heartfelt. I don't know, like it really resonates with
Mm.
me.
Yeah, that's it. That is the movie. Really, that's the whole thing. It's true forgiveness. This is the incredible thing, that we're going to go on a journey, but it's true forgiveness that spills out onto absolutely everyone, and his whole perception is changed. And really, he's not seeing any error, and now he wants to bless everything
Mhm.
that's happened. So it's incredible. He's not seeing that any longer. And there's a really nice part at the end, because you get to see him, seemingly
The actual footage of
in true life, and then
Mm,
he gets to share a little bit of everything that he went through. So it's just incredible, really. It's just amazing
mm,
how it really it transfers to absolutely everything. So your statement is absolutely correct, because now he's been through all the seemingly all these trials, and now he's ready to bless the world.
mm.
mm.
Incredible. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Mm,
Yeah, and it's like whatever he comes to, it's like we can accept it for ourselves as well, because nothing is really, even the movie that we are watching, it's not outside our mind, it's in our mind. So we can accept the healing and the transformation and the miracle that he receives. It's not like something outside of us, it's actually us. It's a reflection of our yes to God, our remembrance to God. So of God. So yeah, I think it's such a miraculous movie and such a miraculous journey that we are going tomorrow.
mm. It's beautiful. I feel it already. It's like my heart. Yeah, very touching and heart opening
Mm.
and very relatable.
Mm.
Something we can relate to. Like you said, maybe it's not about the exact scenes, but
Mm.
it is our relationship with God that we're facing every day. And I had this thought, yeah, yesterday I watched another really beautiful movie, and I thought, wow, it comes back again to that call for love too. You guys had a few beautiful movies around the theme answering the call for love, and yeah, that was part of that too. I think you guys just froze on my end. Let's see if you're gonna come back. Hmm. No, it's beautiful. Okay, well, maybe that's it. Oh, thank you everyone for joining. yeah, if you can join tomorrow morning, then it's at 10 a.m. Mexico time. The link is in the description, and Ken and Anna will be there with you. So lots of love, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.